Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more figures from Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and in today's review we're going to take a look at the very cool spiritual warrior monk, none other than Chirrut Ímwe, or Chirrut Ímwe. Really not sure how his name is pronounced, but I'm sure we'll find out come December 15th when the film is released. This is an absolutely awesome figure. I am blown away with this one. In many ways he is one of the standout figures from the Rogue One line so far. Detail, sculpt, accessories, everything about this figure is absolutely awesome, and I cannot wait to share him with you in more detail later on in this review. So before we jump into this one, let's quickly take a look at the packaging that he comes in. Once again, we get the standard Rogue One packaging design with this figure. So you've got the Death Trooper featured prominently at the top of the card, the Rogue One logo just at the side, and then some very cool artwork just below that of Chirrut Ímwe himself, played of course by martial arts specialist Donnie Yen in Rogue One. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the film. On the front of the bubble there, you've got an image of the play feature or gimmick accessory that's included with this figure. And then on the back of the box, you do have a brief description of the character, as well as an advertisement there for the interactive Studio FX app by Hasbro. Now, from what I gather, this particular character in the movie is, as I said, a spiritual warrior monk of sorts. From what I gather, he is a firm believer in the Force, but he's not quite a Jedi. He's very similar in many ways to Lor San Tekka from The Force Awakens, in the sense that he is a disciple of the Church of the Force, so he relies on the Force itself as more of a religion, more of a faith, than something to give him power, which is interesting. It's something that I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, Rogue One doesn't rely heavily on Jedi and lightsabers and the Force. It's a much more military-based film, so it'll be really interesting to see not so much a Force user, but a Force believer integrated as part of that group. So really looking forward to seeing him in the film. In terms of the figure itself, as I said, this guy is absolutely awesome. I think Hasbro have nailed the sculpt on this one. The head sculpt itself is fantastic. It's a great likeness to Donnie Yen, although at the same time looks a little bit like John Hannah from the Mummy movies. I'll leave that one open to interpretation. If you're not sure who John Hannah is, search him on Google, and I'm sure as soon as you see an image of him, you'll know exactly what I mean. But, despite looking a little bit like John Hannah, Rachel Weisz's brother in the Mummy films, then I'm sure, it's a passable likeness for Donnie Yen as well. What I really like about this particular figure of Chirrut Ímwe is the fact that obviously in the film Chirrut is blind, and Hasbro have translated that really well into action figure form, in the sense that you've got these painted blue pupils on the eyes, which looks very, very cool indeed. In terms of articulation, here's your standard 5-point of articulation figure. So in that respect, he features a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders and swivels at the hips. The robes have been sculpted hollow, which gives a nice, natural, free-flowing look to the robes themselves. And in terms of the sculpt, it's just absolutely phenomenal. You've got some great texture sculpted into the robes themselves, as you can see. You've got this sort of ammo pouch or bandolier strap across the chest. And again, that head sculpt is very nice as well. One of the more subtle details that I noticed about this guy is the gauntlet he wears on his forearm. As you can see, looks very Mandalorian. Almost looks like something from Boba Fett's costume, and that is definitely apparent in the stills and some of the footage that we've seen from the movie so far. In terms of accessories, Chirrut Ímwe comes with a staff, which he uses in the movie to kick some serious Stormtrooper backside, as I'm sure you've seen from some of those clips and trailers. He does all sorts of spins, kicks and all that sort of stuff, so really looking forward to seeing him utilise this staff against the Empire in the film. And of course, as you can see, he does come with a stylised version of a bowcaster. Now, as we've seen from trailers and clips and footage and all that sort of stuff, not only does Chirrut Ímwe use a staff, but he uses this crossbow-like weapon as well. Now, I really like what Hasbro have done with this figure, as rather than giving us a screen-accurate version of the weapon, they've taken the bowcaster itself, given it a few steroids, just really increased the scale, and given us this play feature, which I think really works well. I think if Hasbro are going to go down the route of giving us rocket firing features and play features primarily aimed at kids, I think this is definitely the way to go, taking a screen used prop, stylizing it, increasing the scale, and just making it so that it doesn't look so ridiculous. I think some of the weapons in this line have been questionable, but this one is definitely one of the better ones, and it doesn't look too out of place on the figure. Obviously there is a giant red missile in it which fires out. You just flick that at the end and it will fire across the room. And you've also got these prongs at the front of the bowcaster which just fold up like so. Now if for whatever reason you're not a fan of this bowcaster weapon, you can remove it from the figure's forearm. It just slides on like a gauntlet, and then that gives you a much more screen accurate version of Chirrut Ímwe himself. Once again, this is an absolutely phenomenal figure, and I can't wait to pick up Baze Malbus from the Baze Stormtrooper 2-pack just to complete the pairing from the film. And if you want to purchase this figure for yourself, then by all means head over to the link in the video description, which will head you over to staractionfigures.co.uk, where at the time of filming this review he is available to pre-order. So if you want this guy, that's the place to get him. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with many more Rogue One figure reviews very, very soon. So thank you for watching, guys, and as always, until next time, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.